I'm doing it for my daughter.
One of the like Faustian dreams of man. It's like the impulse to create a doll, or a golem or something. I mean, this goes back thousands of years, but to create something, to create life, to take it's like Prometheus, like the power that God has to create life. We want the power to create like a simulacrum of life, right?
A sentient calculator.
Ultimately, yeah, like we want to like something that looks human, acts human, thinks like a human, like as close as we can get. That would be that's the technocratic. That's the dream of people that are like, you know, I mean, that's ancient though.
Yeah,
that's ancient.
Yeah, it goes on. It's forever.
But don't have a baby.
Don't have a baby. You can't have kids.
Don't have the thing that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Isn't that like really like I want a computer? I want a bunch of car parts.
Yeah.
I hope it fucks me.
It's just dehumanizing until it's only technology, something crazy like that at the end.
But I do think that it's whether or not it's natural. I mean, it's something that like speaks to it speaks to like a lot of people. Like I remember going to like anybody it has anything to do with sci-fi, like going to computer camp, going to the game store. It's like awesome. A natural impulse or something of like a 12-year-old to be like, I want to create a robot that does, you know, just something about it that is human.
Yeah,
about that impulse.
Legos.
I don't know really how to explain it, but
I mean, I get it. I mean, to make like this is my little digit, my gizmo friend.
Well, the thing is just how far from the actual application we are. What people don't what the smartest people don't get is the difference between 95% and 99% and 100% is like worlds. So if you think about self-driving technology, we had self-driving technology in Grand Theft Auto, right? Like you've got traffic laws in Grand Theft Auto. You have cars moving around according to rules, and they bump into each other every once in a while. That right there is 95% of the problem. That's like a big chunk of the problem. In Grand Theft Auto, they created a realistic looking city with realistic traffic patterns. People get out of their cars, you pull them out of the car, like police pull you over, it became mafia. Like if you speed or violate, like LA Noire has even more realistic. That's 95% of the problem right there. Then going to 99% is like from that to where Tesla's at with FSD, with like object recognition and stuff. Like another 4% of the problem requires like hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000 times as much money and human effort to figure out. And then what's the last 1% of the problem take? The last 1% is like make this so that it's make it so it's so much safer than human driving that people choose to adopt this, and you'd be stupid not to. That's what the last 1% is. Like, imagine every situation you've been in a car. Like when we were in New Hampshire, we blew up that car. We were driving through the woods in the Raptor to get away from the police coming. Stuff like that. Like how are you going to do that without loss of human life? Backing into really tough spots. The stuff that imagine your top 10 hairiest driving moments where you had to do it and you didn't die. That type of thing. That's the last 1%. How much more is that going to take? And if you're really smart, you look at it and you go, oh, we're already at 99%. We only have to get 1% better, and full self-driving is going to be active this year. But that's what they said like 8 years ago. The reason for that is because the nature of like complexity and problems is exponential. It's like turbo. Like it's even a smart person can't understand it until you've bitten. Like Elon Musk, I think probably understands it. He probably talks a game to shareholders, but he knows how difficult it is because he's bitten off the problem and he's like chewing it right now. That's the only way you can tell how hard that last 1% is.
And you know what it is? Stealing Hellcats.
Hell yeah.
He can't
that
figure
type
out,
of shit.
Like that. He's like this. How do I keep that variable out?
That type of shit. What's the computer gonna do if a Hellcat owner
crashes into it,
pulls over, fake out like he's gonna get out for the cop, but then goes, oh hell no, takes off, ripping through tunnels, which is a badass video. I don't know if you've seen it. But that type of thing, scenarios like that. Anyway,
he doesn't know how to get to that, like that, and that's what it is.
The robotics thing, like the problem is that the people who really love, who are lured into this industry by how cool it is, and by like, I guarantee you that anybody that works in robotics they do it because they read science fiction or played Warhammer or something, and they're like, it would be so awesome if there were robots walking around. Like they're tricked into that, and and the industry that they're tricked into, like it's like they don't understand how far like the thing I've talked about before is if you have robot police
Mhm.
and a robot police officer accidentally kills an unarmed black kid. The company's over, robotic police are over. You won't have robotic police again for 50 years until like 2 generations of people have forgotten about Lamar, little boy was killed by a robot cop.
Yep.
Okay. And every company that's invested in this, their stock price tanks. Like they don't. That's the type of thing. Like even if, and then the other thing is like the physical side of things, like screwing on a cap. If you're in a factory like the Kawasaki factory, and the bottle comes up perfectly, and the cap is already in the robot's hand, like that's easy, right? But if the cap's over there and the bottle has a dent in it or whatever, or is a different weight than the arm is expecting, like all these types of the variables compound. Like the more variables you add in, it doesn't just get like adding variables doesn't make something linearly more complicated and difficult. It makes it exponentially more complicated.
Earthquakes,
and difficult.
wind, the material in the factory, the temperature of the factory, a breakdown one time over manufacturing.
Well, what I'm saying is robotics outside of a factory context.
Oh yeah,
Because robotics are very useful inside the context of an assembly line.
KUKA.
For a lot of things, but they still haven't replaced all humans in factories. That should tell you that even in a factory, which is a very controlled environment, like an assembly line where every station has only one task, there's still shit being done by humans.
100%.
So the robots are good for like stuff that's going to tire a human out, like suction, grab a door, lift it up, rotate it, put it over here, like that type of thing. But like more finesse work outside of a factory, robots are just not there. If they were, they've been trying to do this shit for 30 years. If the technology was there, we'd have robots walking around now doing shit that's useful.
Type in KUKA, KUKA robots. That's probably, there's the most concentration of them in Alabama, and you would get the realest answer ever by an Alabama Mercedes-Benz auto factory worker on these robots. Like, man, these robots be breaking down. The hose is leaked. Hose is always leaking on them.
The Roomba is the most perfect evidence for this problem, because what the Roomba, the problem that it's trying to solve, like the constraints are so simple. It's a 2-dimensional space. It's a room with like boundaries. Like the Roomba encounters stairs and walls and stuff, and those are 3-dimensional things. But when it does that, it's just a 2-dimensional boundary. So it is 2 dimensions only, and it only has to do one thing. It only has to move around vacuuming shit. And if it were useful, we would have them. They're not expensive. Like if a Roomba was useful and did something that added value to your life, the pros outweighed the cons of having this ugly thing taking up storage space and fucking up over certain services and stuff. You would have one in your house. It's not like you can't afford it or something, right?
It's to torture animals.
Yeah.
Yes, it's to have your cat to have a truck. I mean, I've always hated like gizmos and gadgets, and I feel like it's just a big con, and it sort of like sells the dream. And I think from like the tech side of like working in like a Boston Dynamics, it's like you think you're going to be this literal like Silicon Valley cool guy. That's the promise and the lore, that you're an early adapter. And I think we've seen the life cycle of tech companies come and go, like Puffer Vest. I was early in I was really early in before the sellout for BioFire, and then what really happens is you get head from an Indian guy. Like social services is really bad, technology and investments is really bad. Just no one ever doing anything and checking anything.
It's just part of the excitement. Like what you were saying with
we get this?
We should get that. What you were saying, the early adopter thing, it's just part of the you want to feel like you're part of the future or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's how these people want to feel. And then if you're investing in it, like the way FOMO feels, you can't do due diligence because it takes too long. If you do your due diligence, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
And even when people are telling you like, no, don't buy whatever coin, like you could have a bunch of negative information coming your way, and it doesn't do anything. It even like bolsters your position. It makes you more excited. Like I have a contrarian position. These people are telling me not to do it. I've got to be onto something. I got to buy slut coin.
Yeah. Cat girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Batman coin.
And the people, like executives, they get that. They feel that it's just human psychology. Like even people that should know better, that work at banks and stuff, they get that feeling.
We get to watch people gamble
Mm.
with like teachers' pension funds.
Especially if you worked at Hyundai. What are you thinking? If you work at Hyundai, what are you thinking? How are you gonna? What's gonna happen? Hyundai's gonna start making great products.
As a shareholder,
hell no.
Yeah, you'd say, "Whoa, no, that."
We got in another ugly piece of shit. No, we have to find something outside our company to invest in because Hyundai sucks.
Yeah.
If you were realistic and you knew what Hyundai was and you worked at Hyundai and you were an executive, you'd think, oh, well, we can't make good cars. We definitely got to take our money.
Dogs.
Guys, get our nuts somewhere else.
Yeah, mining equipment and construction equipment is probably where they're shifting their big parallel. They have like Samsung makes granite countertops. We've talked about that.
Oh.
Korean companies have no holds barred style.
Yeah, it's like Valley Tudo.
It's kind of like Amazon's becoming. Amazon buying anything and everything now. They're like, fuck it, we'll buy it. Oh, it's good? Buy it. Buy it. Food?
Super company. I want super company.
Tell him, Tran. He's like, oh, good. They just pick like a Hyundai executive. He's big, make money.
They should start making cars. They should.
Antitrust laws are like totally not even real. Like, no, nothing.
They should start having more cross-eyed executives.
Yeah. Leave me alone. You making fun of me? They're brassy.
Hell yeah.
You're making fun of me? That's all they talk about.
Ruthless.
They're getting paid like $6 million. That's like enough. Like an Asian baseball player's wife.
Amazon owns Zappos.
Yeah.
Oh,
do they own these outright, or are they like a partial owner?
Shipping deals.
Shop Bop.
Holy shit.
Remember when Woot was around before Amazon bought it?
Oh man, Amazon's a beast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They were trying to buy Roomba,
man.
actually. They were trying to buy Roomba.
Fucking look at that.
MGM. You like that?
What about that?
Wow.
MGM?
Yeah, they own the film. They own Yes Network, which is so funny. Mark Cuban's on it.
Ugh.
Good for them.
Oh, they got SageMaker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fire that up on the computer, Charles. Elastic beanstalk.
What's that supposed to do?
Wickedly prime.
They were trying to buy Roomba a couple weeks ago, and I thought that was just to get like internal home data. To get like schematics of your home.
Oh, yep.
Combine that with the Alexa so they can fucking
just shoot your fucking dog. Like the DNA wife owning like the Google DNA guy, you know, Sergey Brin's wife runs 23andMe.
Oh, yep.
That's fun. That was a fun one. That was nice and comfortable.
Sister to the YouTube CEO.
Yeah, nice warm blanket.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun.
Some sort of a cabal, kind of. That's okay.
Yeah.
And Wojcicki.
𝐁𝐸𝐿.
Isn't she the YouTube? No.
Who's her
It's
husband? Her
Susan.
husband, Sergey Brin. Oh, they broke up in 15. He dumped her. Stupid. I wonder how she was at fucking. Usually those
Not
Polacks
good.
can take a beating. Well, maybe
Not good.
Sergey Brin wasn't putting it down.
Is she Polish or Jewish? Or both?
Wojcicki? Let's check.
What's the early life got to say, if you can even still access that?
Palo Alto.
Russian Jewish?
Oh, whoops. Okay, there we
whoops.
go.
I wonder if she's good at fucking.
She looks handsome.
She's a Leo.
Yeah, she's got some features.
She probably roll around in the old sack.
She's 50, so she knows a thing or two.
Nah, she probably knows how to take it deep.
Experienced sexuality.
Who's she fucking these days? Susan. What's her name? Susan Wojcicki.
Susan Wojcicki.
We should talk about it. Like we should talk about like that. Like those like the evil CEOs. Like they're like skanks. That's like who's she fucking now? Yeah, she probably gives good roadhead.
Russian.
Brazilian.
It's weird.
John Taffer.
John Taffer, Russian.
Brazilian.
Oh,
Really?
Oh.
Damn.
August 21st. Leo.
Wow.
The Leos,
op.
man.
Can't escape.
All right, what else is on the agenda? We got anything else on our list, our hit list here, Chris?
Let's see the hit
Topher?
list.
You know, my wife, just because we're looking at this stuff, it's just reminding me, you know, my wife, Ifina, she's a princess, and she's descended from the royal family of Arabistan.
Did not know that.
Did you believe that?
That's crazy.
Arabistan.
Yeah. Before the, I think he might have the Grand Mason that was in charge of it. I think he was put in a cage and thrown in the ocean or something crazy. But then they annihilate and they turned it into what it is now. I think there couldn't be an Arabistan, but I thought that was crazy.
That is crazy.
They went nuts with the Istans out there.
Yeah.
Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. And
Tajikistan.
they really broke it down. Kazakhstan's the size of Turkey. It's gigantic.
Chris, can you type in Istan etymology?
I think I used to know this.
Suffix in the Persian language denoting a place.
Farsi.
Pakistan means place of the pure. I don't know about that.